This is everybody's lovable, huggable, friendly, local neighborhood naked Bigfoot. Um, I decided to do a quick update. And I should say, of course, this is welcome to the home of What the Fuck Paranormal Chat with the Naked Bigfoot. I am your Mike, the Naked Bigfoot. There, made it official. But this is an informal update. Uh, I know I haven't been around for the past couple of weeks. I've just been fucking tired. I'm just gonna lay it out there. I've been painfully tired. Um, but I'm getting my juices back pumping. So I'll be starting up again real soon. With new content, new lives, new subjects, fun stuff. But in the meantime, I wanted to give everybody an update between my last appearance on What the Fuck Paranormal and today. Something really amazing happened. Plus, by the time I'm done with this live, I'm going to one of the things that you guys are going to get a chance to be able to observe and perhaps be a part of um, is that I intend on doing something incredibly stupid real soon. Hence the title, an update plus something stupid. So stick around to the end here and I'll tell you what the stupid thing's going to be. Because I admit, it's going to be stupid. Okay, let's start. Something really, really amazing and exciting happened to me. My friends over at Bonkers had Dave Schrader. They had booked Dave Schrader the other week. Yes, the Dave Schrader from the Holzer Files, Dynasty Radio, his current show on YouTube, that Dave Schrader, paranormal icon, living icon that's out there right now, and somebody I respect so much in the field. You have no idea how much I respect him. Wolfie Wolf, it's been a long time no see, dude. I actually, I got to, well, they had Dave Schrader on their show, Bald and Bonkers, Chris and Dakota. They had him on their show. And they were very, very kind to me to give me the opportunity that when their show ended, that they brought me online behind the scenes and gave me an opportunity to speak with Dave Schrader. It was, I'll tell you what, it lifted my spirits beyond belief just being able to talk to the man. He's in my mind, he's a legend, an absolute legend. Somebody I respect a great deal. If that wasn't good enough, I know I sound like a small child. If that wasn't good enough, and I know okay, I'm just going to admit it. I'm going to be fucking bragging a little bit in the next couple minutes. I never ever do that. That's one sin that I do my best to avoid. But I was so honored and overwhelmed by what happened the day after talking to Dave Schrader. The next day, he contacted me on his show on YouTube. By the way, if you've never watched it, he has some amazing interviews on there, some amazing subjects. But he asked me, the naked Bigfoot, to come on his show and do an interview on his show. I was floored. I swear to God, I stopped breathing for a little while. I scared the shit out of my family. They thought that that the old chariot had swung low and I had moved on to the next life. because I had been struck dumb, deaf, and blind by Dave Schrader asking me that. So of course I said yes. And I'll tell you what, Dave Schrader is just not. I mean, he's a fucking star for God's sakes. I mean, but he is so down to earth and so humble, um, and so kind. Dave Schrader is. It was an amazing interview. I pinned the link to that show on my Twitter homepage. So if anybody's interested in going and watching it, I got into some really really deep shit. Something I've only handed out and talked about on my show, other people's show as well as guests. But I was able to dig down deep, and it was emotional. The interview was incredible. Well, number one, it was incredibly professional, something I'm not used to. Being, your humble host, the Naked Bigfoot here, is about as professional as a hickory nut. The other thing is, as you all know, that I cuss like a sailor. I only, and you'll be proud of me, when I was on Dave Schrader's show and he was interviewing me, I only said shit one time. And it just slid out of my mouth. Um, when I said it. Uh, Highlights of the show, besides some of the emotional, the deeply emotional moments that we had on the show. It was an amazing show. He's a great interviewer, by the way. Everything I could have imagined being on Dave Schrader show. It was fucking intense, fun. We laughed. By the end of the show, we cried. You'll recognize me from Super Horror Show. Sorry, I just saw that name pop up. But as much as I've always loved being on other people's shows and being interviewed by other people and appearing on their shows, I'm gonna tell you what. And I love you all for ever having me on your shows so much. But I'll tell you, the this was a dream come true. The interview of that Dave Schrader interviewed me. It was a dream come true. Um, it lifted my spirits. I was beginning to walk down. I was walking in a dark hallway. For those who did not know, I was at the time that Dave Schrader contacted me. I was walking down a very very dark hallway in my mind. Um, and when he contacted me about that show, it's like every light, every candle you can imagine was lit and turned on, and it gave me it gave me a boost that I didn't think I wanted or needed. Just being on his show and having him interview me, and the interview went a while too. It went over an hour and a half. Um, he let the whole thing be the way it was too. Uh, if you want to see me being interviewed by the Dave Schrader, um, quite possibly the one of the best moments in my life. The link to it, to his show, to that show, Paranormal 60 on YouTube, uh, is pinned. The tweet is link is pinned as a tweet on my Twitter feed. So if you don't already follow me on Twitter, you should. It's at Voodoo Man 3, or you can go to Twitter and you can search Mike the Naked Bigfoot, and you will find me. Um, I'm not going to make this. I'm not going to make tonight's update. Hey, I was interviewed by Dave Schrader. I'm not going to make the entire update tonight um, on that whatsoever. But hey, I was interviewed by Dave Schrader, the Dave Schrader. Again, you have no idea what that meant to me. And it all started because Chris and Dakota over at Bald and Bonkers, and I give them full faith and credit. They're awesome guys anyway. Um, but they introduced us. They introduced us. So I have to thank them. I have to thank them because that interview would have never happened if it. I don't. Well, I would have never had the opportunity, number one, to have ever met him virtually, even in this lifetime. Um, much less be on his show. So I was just talking about you, Chris. I decided to come on and do an update tonight, and I was just talking about being on Dave Schrader's show, doing the interview with Dave that Dave Schrader did with me. So, well, he interviewed me, um, and I was just thanking you and Dakota for allowing me to meet him, and if it hadn't been for you guys allowing me to meet him, the interview probably would have never happened in this lifetime. So, it was awesome. It was awesome. Um, Oh, it's okay, Chris. This update came out of left field. I just decided to do it. Um, I was awake and had some fuck around time, and I had been making the last couple of days. I made a couple of decisions, um, and I was going to use this update to tell everybody about those decisions. So, plus tell everybody what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks too, including the wait for it, the interview me being interviewed by Dave Schrader on Dave Schrader's show, Paranormal 60. I told you all that I was going to be bragging about it. um, again, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Again, there was a lot of laughs. Um, I'll tell you what, the man can ask some questions. Dave Schrader can ask some questions, and he lets you talk. Oh, God. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate that. I love you, man. I really do. Um, you're gonna make me cry. Don't get a little and cry. But again, many laughs. Again, the man can have a sense of humor. Um, Professional as hell. Again, which is the exact opposite of me. I'm not professional with my little bullshit show that I do on here. That I have amazing followers. I love you guys forever, but you know my show is professional. It's not professionally done. Um, that's the way I like doing it, off the seat of my pants and talking bullshit in process. So, but Dave Schrader, I was interviewed by Dave Schrader. Okay. Again, if you watch the interview, guys, you be prepared to laugh. You will laugh. You'll learn a little bit more about me because I'm an open book anyway. But you'll learn a little bit more about me, perhaps, and by the end of the show, it got emotional towards the end of the show. So, it got very emotional towards the end of the show. So. Okay. I know. You're right, Chris. Dave Schrader is insane. It's absolutely insane to know. So yes, as I've said before, I can die happy now. Not only did had an opportunity to talk to Dave Schrader, but I had an opportunity to be on his show. So, and I have to admit, I nervous for interviews. Um, and I wasn't exactly nervous being interviewed by Dave. Um, but I was anxious. Because you know how your big lovable teddy bear here, the naked Bigfoot, enjoys rambling and um, going off on different subjects. Dave actually encourages that shit. He encouraged it within parameters. Within certain parameters. We have to do that, Chris. We really should do that. He encouraged it to go down some different paths, which he was genuinely intrigued by and interested in. So he's a very sincere person, and he's a sincere when it comes to his interview style and technique as well. Can't say enough about the man. Can't say enough about it. Okay. What else? We'll move on from me and Dave Schrader. I'm not saying that we're besties because we're not besties, but he made me smile. The fact that I got a chance to meet him and got interviewed by him made me smile. It brought me out of that dark hallway. It illuminated my night like you wouldn't believe. Um, I didn't sleep for 2 nights afterwards after the interview. I was just I couldn't believe it. I was floored. I couldn't believe it. Okay. Quick health update as always. Hmm, got one always got one foot in the grave and one foot out of the grave. But that's the life I've chosen to exist in. I'm still kicking. Um, I had an interesting moment with a nurse yesterday. I was getting one of my checkups prior to my dialysis. I was getting a checkup, and it was a nurse that she was a new nurse. She had never dealt with me. She didn't know what to expect when she came into the room to see me. Um, but I figured you guys would appreciate this story a great deal. That, of course, they, aw, thank you, Chris. Likewise. Um, they hooked me up to all kinds of equipment to run all kinds of bizarre tests and shit. And she came in to plug me in, put all the sensors on me, my heart, um, and everything else, all the various sensors to do the random tests with, and took my shirts off because I always wear multiple shirts. And I heard her gasp when I did it. Um, and then I could tell that she caught herself. I turned when I heard her gasp, and her eyes were huge. She saw something that I don't think she'd ever seen before, besides me not having a shirt on. Um, Covered in scars from my life. I mean, some of them deep, some of them wide, you name it. Some of them from surgeries, most of them not from surgeries, most of them from uh, my adventures, my paranormal life that I led, and the adventures that I had as a young man left many physical scars on me. Uh, Plus, when I was a more active Gon, that part uh, of many of the ceremonies you do as a Gon involve being raided by Loa, Raider Loa, and as you're, which is to understand that concept, you you to happen. Um, it's not unwanted; it's wanted. And they can ride you hard. They can. I've had bones broken. Um, Drew. So good to see you, my dear. It's been a long time. I've been watching your shows too, Drew. I'm sorry that I haven't left any comments, but I've been watching your shows and keeping up with your life. I've been watching, been keeping up, uh, being a shadow in the background as always. And she saw all the scars across my chest and my back and my arms, my upper arms especially, because I've been sliced open, I've been clawed, I've had bones broken, fractured, sprained, um, but from tip of my toes to the back of my neck. Um, I am I am well scarred. I got a lot of battle scars on me, and it's something that she was probably not accustomed to seeing. And if those who do not know, for those who are raised as a Southern boys and girls, we are told we are good Southern boys and girls are taught to not draw attention to anyone's deformity or infirmity, that it's considered rude. But when she looked at me and saw all these scars, she couldn't help herself. She couldn't catch. She couldn't help herself. She did it, and I smiled because I felt bad for her because she had never encountered. She'd never seen anything like that on a living being, apparently. And I told her. I looked at her, and said, "It's okay." I said, "They don't hurt. My scars don't hurt anymore." And I said, "If you ever want me to tell you the story about how I got these scars, I'm more than happy to. If it helps you feel better and makes you more at ease when you come into the room and work with me, I'll be happy to tell you the story." When I said that, I caught myself because I immediately thought of The Dark Knight. Papa Joey, Papa Joey, Papa Joey, did you know that I was interviewed by Dave Schrader? Papa Joey, I was interviewed by Dave Schrader. Okay, I promise I'll stop talking about Dave Schrader now. Um, but when I told her that I would tell her the story of my scars, that it reminded me of The Dark Knight. That scene in The Dark Knight, those scenes in The Dark Knight where the Joker always introduces himself by going, "You want me to tell you how I got how I got these scars?" Um, or he says, "You know how I got these scars." I caught myself when I said that. I'm like, "God damn, you're making yourself sound like the Joker." You said that. Um, but in the South, raised properly, which is probably going to piss people off by saying it that way. If you were raised properly, um, you're, uh, but um, at one point I was a teacher Shakespearean drama in English. Also, a student of Arthurian literature as well. That those who know the story of the Fisher King had a wound that would not heal unless he was asked the proper question by a guileless fool. And every knight of the Round Table that went to see the Fisher King, part of the code of chivalry, which reminds me of being raised properly in the South. Part of the code of chivalry was you were to not insult your host if they had an infirmity, um, or if they had a deformity. You would not bring it up. It was considered rude. Um, it took, and thus the Fisher King, which he held a secret to the Holy Grail, finding. But you had to pass that test with the Fisher King, and so many knights have failed it because they never asked him the proper question. Until along came a knight who became a knight quite by accident. He was a boy who he worked in the kitchen, um, was a joke amongst many of the other knights, but he had become a knight. Um, and without thinking, when he saw the discomfort that the fisherman was in from the wound that was at his side that would not heal, he asked the Fisher King, "What ails you?" Now, the knights that were with him, they all gasped because, "Oh, I'm not supposed to ask that question of your guests. It's considered rude, and it dishonors the knighthood and insults your guest." But that was the question that the Fisher King had been waiting for because the night that came, this boy that started off his life working in the kitchens and became a knight, the guileless fool, he wasn't raised in a chivalrous, high-born family, and was not taught proper manners that one must always display as a knight, chivalry. So he asked the guileless fool asked that question of the Fisher King, and the Fisher King was immediately healed by that question. He rose up from where he was lying, fully healed, and thus they were able to find, them to begin the leading them to the Holy Grail. I know I told that story horribly, but that story made me think of that too. Um, but as that nurse was putting the heart monitor on my chest, because I have a oh, I should probably show it. Ugh. It looks I have a scar over my heart. I've never had surgery on my heart, by the way, but I do have a scar over my heart here, left side of my chest. Um, that looks like somebody tried to dig my heart out. I could tell that she was gonna hurt me. She probably didn't want to touch me. Uh, she did. She put the sensors on my heart. She came close. I didn't know if it was a mixture of apprehension, probably mental disgust as well. Um, and when she got close, I just whispered to her. I closed my eyes and I looked. I whispered to her. I said, "It's okay. It's okay. They don't hurt me, and they won't hurt you." Um, quote another movie. I quoted another movie to her when I said that. I told her that my body was a roadmap of pain. I said every scar on my body has a story, and if it makes you feel better, I'll be happy to tell you the story of whatever scar you wish me to tell you the story of. She never gave me an answer. She worked very, very quietly after that, and she hesitated with every boob put on me, and when she was drawing, and because I have multiple scars along my wrists and forearms. Um, it didn't make me feel bad. I felt bad for her. I really, really felt bad for her because she couldn't look past those scars when she was there. She couldn't step out of herself enough um, to understand that she was still working with a living, breathing human being. Um, again, I think it was because she didn't want to be rude, but at the same time, it frightened her and it disgusted her as well. It was a mixture of feelings I felt that she had within her when she saw it. So, but we got through it. She's been the only person in the medical profession that has ever. She was very young. She was very young. Um, I'm not using that as her. I'm not giving her an out or as an excuse um, for that. It's me mainly to say because I understand. I've met a lot of people like her. To quote X-Men now, they'll never know any more than what they see with their eyes. They can't see anything beyond what they see with their eyes at all. Um, their eyes are the only way that they see the world. They can't see the world with their heart. They can't see the world with their spirit. They only use their eyes to give them that information. And that's a shame. It's a real shame. So you miss out on so much in this universe by doing that. Okay. I think that's about it for the updates. Um, um, let's talk about something stupid. What I'm going to do that's stupid. Um, as everybody knows who follows my channel with any regularity, knows that my farm is pretty fact when it comes to the paranormal and paranormal things that happen on it, and strange that happen on it as well. Whether they be getting to that, Chris. Uh, strange that happen in my woods, plus my Bigfoot problem. Um, it's not a problem anymore, but I still like to it's the Bigfoot problem. You know, I have not set, and I realized this the other day. It has been a few years since I have set foot back in the woods properly. Um, I mean, the woods, deep within the woods, walking deep into the woods, not just to the edge of the woods, not to the edge of the fields, actually walking into the woods. And we've had this laughing, crying, giggling, bizarre thing that's been haunting our woods recently, too. Right outside of your field of vision. Um, but you can definitely hear it. You can't avoid not hearing it up there. And against you know, the wishes of my family, who think I'm so fragile that I'm a fucking China doll. That if the wind blows in the wrong direction, I'm going to shatter into 1,000 pieces. Um, I am going to go into the woods by myself real soon and try to make contact out there with whatever's out there. And hopefully, I am going to be streaming it live when it happens. And that's going to be happening in the next few days. I'll keep everybody in the loop. Um, you might see something interesting. You might see something interesting. Hell, I'm definitely probably going to see something interesting. But for those who have never seen any of the videos or pictures I've taken of my woods, it's be a good opportunity for you guys to see it. Plus, if you see something on the feed that is going on that I happen to not notice, it'd be nice to have that set of eyes out there to see it as well. It's going to be an interesting experiment. It's like an experiment. I'm actually going to perform a rite when I go out there to see if I can contact with what's out there. So, for those who I've never shown anybody who've heard me talk about various ceremonies and rites. Um, this rite is a manifestation rite. It makes the unseen seen. It makes the I've seen them for a while now. They're still out there. Shadowy things out there. Um, Makes the unseen seen, and it makes the voiceless heard. It's going to do one or two things. It's either going to set up communication or it's going to seriously piss it off, whatever it is. In either case, it'll give me the opportunity to figure out what the fuck it is um, and how best to handle it from there on. But it should be interesting. It should be interesting. So. So I'm gonna keep you guys in the loop. So when it goes live, it's gonna happen during the day. It's not gonna happen at night. Number one, it's gonna happen during the day and not at night because I have my whole family's here at night and they're gonna fucking stop me as soon as I try to do it. But during the day I can slip out easy and hobble my way to the woods and do it. So you'll get the opportunity to see it. And I'm saying it's something stupid because it probably is really fucking stupid. You're in the supernatural world, when you say you should let sleeping dogs lie, especially in the supernatural world, you should let sleeping dogs lie. Um, I'm gonna be in a fuck it frame of mind lately, so I'm not gonna let sleeping dogs lie. Um, this will be my last and perhaps greatest paranormal adventure, I believe. Because I think I have one last adventure left in me, and I think this is going to be it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, you've heard me say in the past some of the shit that I've done in the past and investigating and researching. I've done a lot of stupid shit. This is going to be pretty high meter, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it just to see what happens. I might learn something. You guys who are watching it might learn something. Um, but it might end sticky, so it might end really, really sticky. And I'm hoping it won't. But if it does, you guys will be able to, you'll have front row seats to it. You'll have stories to tell to your children and your grandchildren. Okay, guys. I'll keep you in the loop, let you know when this is going down. Everybody will be able to watch it live, so you can see it hopefully. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. That's the something. So, hearing you again soon. Love you guys. This is What the Fuck Paranormal Chat with the Naked Bigfoot. I am your host, Mike the Naked Bigfoot, wishing everybody an amazing night. And until we meet again.